they are joining maybe later on. So first of all, thank you all for joining. I'm just going to set my screen at the right way. One more seconds. Voila. So I'm happy to introduce Marta and Shitten and Michelle. Sorry, Michelle, I didn't put your name on it because it was really Oktium based the presentation. So I will give them the word afterwards. So Michelle is from Tech Data. I'm from Tech Data. Of course, you know me. And Marta and Shitten are from Oktium. They will give the presentation about Oktium, and Michelle and myself are here for the presentation of the DPP program and the support afterwards. So about the DPP program, I'm just going to give a small update about the incentive. So there's an incentive running right now for about 300 euros. What's the incentive about? You already had the final reminder of joining the webinar. So I know from some people, I already got some proof for those who are in this webinar and don't have the proof or don't or are still interested to join the incentive. Just so you know, there's 150 euros you can earn just to use renewal bannering. So for example, these are the renewal bannering. There are, I think, like 4 examples, I think now. You can just put it online, maybe use the iframe. Maybe if you don't have an iframe, use the Tech Data portal. We launched it this week, so it's the first time I talked about it. But if you're interested, I can send you to the link to make an account. So it's possible to have a website or an iframe to put on your own website. The other thing which also can give you 150 euros incentive is to is it renewal newsletter. So we've sent out I think 3 newsletters about TD Renew. You can also find it in the DPP portal within the tab marketing. You can just download it and add them at your with your own logo, with your own text in it. Just don't change the photos because they all are Apple approved. And this one is also, if you can give me the proof, it's also 150 euros to your own for your own accounts. So that being said, we have a new portal for DPP for renewal. So if you would like a URL or an iframe which can give you the calculator of an old device, or for example, a monthly subscription for a certain device, even if it's a new iPhone, the customer can just see what's his price that you can give it to him, and we can upload your logo in it. So you can put it on your own site with your own logo, or we can give to you an specialized URL that you can use to send out to your customers, and it's always free. So we had some webinars this week. So the first was yesterday on mobile device management. I think the most of you joined the session. This is the new vertical we had for the online. And then we also have a webinar tomorrow with Adobe. I think online is a special vertical, and this is also why we're partnering with Oktium. So due Corona, we saw that consumers buy like 3 times more online than they used to. So conversion by sales can be converted, as we see in SMB and in retail, but not always online. So that's really hard, even for a big player like Oktium or Amazon. And that's why I believe in partnering with Oktium is really the right way through SMB for corporate, because everybody is ordering, like, for example, cafeteria plans, or how do you say it, like a portal, which corporate companies are getting their products, or for example, retail, if you just buy an iPhone, or even smaller players, when they go to a web shop and ask something, there's a huge kind of people who go from the other website to the other website and comparing, but there's nobody else who really gets into the sales online. And I think with Oktium we could change that. So I'm giving the word to you, Shin. So you can.
Shouldn't you want to go ahead, or shall I first do?
No, I think you go ahead, Michelle. Yeah, it's a good introduction.
Yeah, okay. So good morning, everybody. My name is Michelle Rackenier. I'm a colleague of Christophe, and I'm part of the IoT and data team within Tech Data. I hope you can all hear me, because I get a little sign of a quality of the network that is not so good. Okay. My job within Tech Data is to help our partners to develop new and innovative solutions within the IoT and data area. We focus on industries within our team, and one of the industries we focus on is retail, hence why we invite here also Oktium. I have a lot of things to show and to tell you, but I will focus on just our retail story. And actually within retail, our story is a story that is today very actual in the retail world, and that is how can we engage with customers combining the physical store and the online store, what we call in retail the physical store, customer experience. Doing this, we present with Tech Data a few solutions, but always based on 3 pillars. The first one is customer engagement. The second one is everything that happens around store automation, a hot topic in the retail world today. And the third one is customer tracking. For all these areas, we have different solutions where we combine the solutions of different vendors and different partners, because the story of IoT and retail is often a story of an ecosystem. That's also why you see here 2 teams of Tech Data combined, Christophe with the DPT and myself more from the solutions part of IoT. Talking about these solutions, I am very happy that we can today have the people of Oktium here, because what we do within Tech Data, we combine all these 3 pillars with different solutions to talk about what is happening in the store, and then we mean the front store, and we make a difference between the food and the non-food, but also what is happening in the warehouse. I'm very happy to get in touch with you if you need more information, but today we are going to focus on the front store and how can you really engage with your online customers, and thanks to the opportunities and solutions of Oktium, get them into your store. So without much more information about this, I will pass on to the expert of Oktium. So Sijin, it's up to you.
Thank you, Michelle. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so thank you for your introduction there, Michelle. Let me just get my slide starting. Okay, you can see that first slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, great. So so thank you, Michelle. So my name is Sheetan Patel. I am Partnerships Manager for Oktium. I am also working today with my colleague Marta Roja, who's going to be presenting a little bit later on as well. So firstly, thank you to Tech Data for allowing us to be attending the presentation today. I'm really interested and pleased to see how the convergence of all these technologies is being brought to you as DPP partners by Tech Data. And we're excited that we've been chosen one of the first sort of online partners that Christoph mentioned. And I'm glad I wasn't aware, but you had an MDM presentation obviously previously and a creative one coming. So there's a really good stable of solutions, I believe, there. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to take you through what Oktium is, introduce how you can start to talk to your customers around what instant live transactional video is and what that means for them and it means for you. So the idea is very quickly that they will increase their revenues using Oktium and your services into them. And you will also increase your revenues by offering Oktium as well as the device around Apple and possibly some of your own services. I should say we're quite happy to take questions during the presentation. If you want to just unmute yourself and ask, that's fine. Also, we can have them at the end as well. But please feel free to interact. We want to try and make this as interactive as possible. These days, things are too regimented, it seems. So whatever you feel is fine with us. So just setting the scene and the sort of challenge in the B2C online world. So as you all know, we all are moving online more for obvious reasons in the last 18 months. But within the business world, organizations, they find it harder and harder to differentiate their brand online. The reality is the online experience is very similar now. It's not easy for businesses to differentiate. And that means that the store staff, the retail staff, for example, are there's more inefficiency there now as we move online, and that means chat bots and email methods for communicating is not great. The experience is poor, and for us as customers, as consumers, you yourselves, you see, I'm sure when you go online, it's there's not much help there. There's lots of options, but nobody to take you through that assistance. And we don't have the time now anymore. We have the less inclination to go and visit lots and lots of stores like we used to. And the result is, poor conversion on shopping baskets. Some stats say up to 80% of shopping baskets can be abandoned. So this is a really bad experience and not helping a lot of your customers to improve the online experience. And that's where Oktium comes in. Our platform gives that helping hand to a consumer. It helps them take them through the purchase. And the way it does that is by connecting them directly to somebody who can help them. And that means they can build trust with that person in an online environment. And as we know, you're more likely to buy from someone that you trust. So the solution that Oktium offers it's an instant live video platform that connects online customers to available salespeople or service professionals based at a bricks and mortar location. So what that means is it's a personal connection, as we say, over video, and it's creating that in-store experience online. And what we think is it has that convenience of a sort of expert personal interaction, which bridges the gap between that online and sort of in-store experience. And the way we do this is through multiple ways. So somebody can click a button on a website next to a product. It could be on a home page. It could also be a QR code that is sitting on a shelf edge of a shelf of products or on a product itself even. Or even on the outside of a store. It could be on a poster, outside of the actual store. Additionally, it could be just a link, a URL that sits inside an email campaign or a social media campaign. So there's multiple ways that Oktium can help a consumer connect to the brand and connect to someone to help them. And what this means is that this way of connecting gives additional sales acceleration, so it converts sales quicker for that brand. So it allows sales conversion to occur much more easily and simply. And I think what we'll do now is I'll just take you to a quick video that will show you the platform in use. Just bear with me while I play this. So here we have two screens showing one screen of the seller. So that's the organization that will potentially buy Oktium and implement it. And this is for the customer. So if I just play now. So what happens first is the customer will click the phase 2 button on a website. They allow their microphone, and that routes the call now to the available salesperson in a store. That salesperson answers the call. They establish trust with the person. They're now showcasing maybe a product. They're talking to them about what it is, the features, the benefits, and having a quick interaction with it. And then the customer can actually say, yes, I want to buy this product. The seller sets up an order, adds it to a basket. They send the order to the customer on their screen, who then accepts the order. And at that point, the payment can also be taken within the call. And that's key to Oktium. We have a patent pending technology around the payment side, which we'll come on to a little bit later on. But there you saw very quickly on a short video the ability for somebody to connect with a salesperson, talk to them, and then really be able to transact through the call. I should just add before I move on here that we are ensuring that any data that's shared from the call is protected. So the customer only shares what they wish to share. They do not need to turn their camera on if they don't want to. But it is a two-way interaction. They can switch their camera on if they wish to. And quickly here, what I'll do is I'll show you visually here what actually happened there. So on the left-hand side of this screen, we're showing you a way a customer can interact. So as we talked about, they could click a button, a phase 2 button, a widget we call it, that's on a website or next to a product. They can click a link in a campaign or in an email, or scan a QR code. Crucially, the customer, when they want to use Oktium like this, they could be on any device. So Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, it doesn't matter. And even more crucially, there's no download, no installation, no sort of account they need to set up. So it's a very frictionless way of somebody simply being able to connect to the store that they want to. On the right-hand side, the receiving seller who will receive the call, they will receive it on an Apple iOS device, so iPhone or iPad. And that's really important because using iOS, the platform of choice, we can offer the innovation, stability, and most importantly, the privacy that really consumers crave today. And that's a big part of what we do. And as we'll talk about in a later on here today, that's a further revenue opportunity for you as DPP resellers via tech data, selling the Apple device. And just to talk about the sector, so where can you sell Oktium through? I mean, the SMB focus that many of you will have, we are currently very predominant in retail, where, as I said, there's an increased sales conversion possible through our payment technology. But equally, you've got use cases, and we have use cases within automotive industry, manufacturing, and services. You've got reduced sales cycles. So in automotive, you can have the ability where showroom staff can be interacting with someone over video, showing them a car, and then booking the test drive there and then in the call through the calendar that is calendaring function that is available through the call. Some brands have seen a 50% reduction in that sales cycle because they can book the test drive there immediately. And then manufacturing, cost and time savings available through maybe engineers, going to a bit of equipment to service, and there's a QR code on that equipment to connect them straight back to the right team to ensure they are speaking to the right team to resolve the problem. And then in services, maybe in healthcare or hospitality, there's a problem that needs to be resolved. The caller can explain the issue, show them the issue, or whatever it might be, and then the professional at the other end can resolve it through live video. So there's multiple use cases, and hopefully you'll be thinking about some of your customers that maybe you can pitch this solution to. And then in summary, I think the benefits to your customers, we talked about increased revenues, the smart routing to those available salespeople, integration. So data that the customer does share with you through the screen, through forms that can be that can be placed online, on the call, can be integrated into their existing CRM or ERP system. Then calls data analysis, how many calls were received by the company, what converted to sales, who received the most calls, who didn't convert to order, for example, that might help with training, issue and so on. So organizations can use that information to ensure that they improve that sales conversion. And as we've said, we'll talk about that in a minute. Actually, there's high levels of sales conversion available through Oktium calls. And then the benefit, again, focusing on Apple here on iOS, is that security that customer has on their privacy and the stability of the platform. I'm going to quickly talk about a couple of customers that we have. Trollbeads is a jewelry brand. They have multiple stores in various countries. They started off small with us with a few stores in Czech Republic, and they achieved, after their initial implementation, they achieved their ROI on the investment in the first 2 hours of launch. In fact, they had to buy more licenses for Oktium, which went through the partner subsequently. And what they saw in the months afterwards was nearly a 50% conversion, 1 in 2 calls using Oktium to sales. So that was a really exciting, conversion they saw. And this is what we're seeing now with video. I'll quickly play. They've done a case study for us, and I'll quickly play this video to show you what how they use it in their store. Okay, so that was Trollbeads, and another story we have around Hydropools. These guys are based out of Scotland. They sell hot tubs, and they have got high ticket value products, and they were looking for a much more visually rich experience for their customers to talk to their sales staff about their products. Now, once they implemented, you can see here on the left hand side, there's the phase 2 icon here. This is what people would click on to interact with the staff, and they sold nearly £20,000 worth of products within their first 2 weeks. So really interesting customer there. M&Co is a retail chain, apparel and clothing they do within the UK and Scotland. They have over 200 stores, and they were looking to pilot trying to get local people to connect to their nearest store. So we set an implementation where the caller would be routed by geolocation to their nearest store. And they're also trialing the integration where we put, if the product's here, for example, you can see the icon here next to this product, this jacket, it would do an inventory lookup when the call is made to see which store has got that product, and it would route that customer to the available store. They're looking at a number of other aspects as well of how to engage Oktium even more with their customers, but that's a really exciting pilot for us. And what I want to talk about now is the other benefits to you as DPP resellers with tech data. So there's 3 parts to the solution that we would say Oktium, obviously Apple, and then the services piece. With Oktium, you can earn revenues just not from the license itself, but also the renewals every year. And there's also possibilities of development and customization that we can help you with your customer if they choose to. The Apple device, clearly that's crucial to the platform. You can supply the devices to your customer, iPhone or iPad, and obviously Tech Data are the partner for you for that. Additionally, Tech Data offer their own services around finance models. So perhaps your customer might need it to be more affordable, so they can spread the payment of the device. You may be offering this already, but it's a crucial part of how you can engage a customer and make it more real for them. And then device refresh and life cycle. So within a couple of years, if the device needs refreshing, we would want them. I would want you to think you'd want them to come back to you to refresh the device. And again, Tech Data, we knew that Christoph mentioned earlier in the call. That's key, that they will get something back for their on the residual value of the device. So some good opportunities there. And then on the services piece, how can you perhaps offer integration and infrastructure services to your retailer, for example. Infrastructure, for example, might be if they have a number of sites where they might need a wireless infrastructure upgrade. Tech Data have Cisco Meraki as a key partner. Perhaps that's something you could offer as a service to upgrade. On the deployment and mobile device management, again, a service that you can offer. Jamf software, for example, is a mobile device partner for Tech Data. They're a key partner that you could perhaps use to offer that service. And then support, your own support services, help making sure your customer is able to use the system well, hardware support for their Apple devices, being there when they need them, when they need you, sorry. So all of these elements here, you can do as much or as little as you feel comfortable as a DPP reseller. If you don't have all the capabilities, it's okay. The suite with Tech Data, Apple, and Oktium, we will help you find a partner if you don't have all the services that you may want to offer. The key is to engage with the customer and ask them, how you can help them. And that's where I think moving on to the support we can give you to help you win business. So we will be on the calls with you to assist you with demonstrations if you require it. We'll set up free customer trials for 2 weeks so they can get to use it. And we will train and induct, provide induction for anyone that requires that. And then support for marketing. So what does that mean? What we've seen typically this year is when a partner is talking to a customer, if they can visualize, how the phase 2 icon might look on their online store. Here's 3 examples here of how that might be. It helps them visualize what could the Oktium experience look like for their customer, and then we can move on to the pilot and set up a demo account, and those we can do within 2 days. So it's very fast to do that. Here, going back to Hydropool, just to mention, they wanted some assistance with some nice imagery to help in their email campaigns. So we put this together, and we would do this through yourselves with your end customer, so they can see the value you are bringing to them to help them maximize the opportunity that is Oktium. And then, we work with small brands, we work with large brands. Here we have Lexus, for example, wanted to have some really impactful imagery for their email campaigns to introduce, the live video aspect to their connecting callers into their showroom staff. So we put this together for them. So subsequently, we can help that, help you with your customers too. So I'm going to hand over to Marta now. She's going to just quickly cover a few slides on how easy it is to get started with Oktium. Marta, can I hand over to you?
Thank you, Sheetan, so much. So good morning, everybody. I'm Marta from Oktium. I'm responsible for the European market, including obviously the Belgian market, and we are also as a team here to help you. So as Sheetan said, it is incredibly easy to get started with Oktium. It has a very rapid implementation and integration period, which literally can be done in a matter of days. If it's a straightforward implementation, we have APIs available which can plug in with the most common CRMs, ERPs, and e-commerce systems. As many of you are using payment systems, we are connected with Stripe and Adyen at the moment, and we are working on new connections with other payment service providers as well. So we take fully care of that process. So in case if your client is interested, we set up the trial and create the integrations necessary for each client. And the only thing we need from their side is the branch address, the email addresses of the staff who will be receiving calls, the website widget we will create for them, which is literally a JavaScript copy-paste on their website, and we train the staff. So that will help them to get started very fast. So we, not necessarily, but many cases we start with 2 weeks trial, where the customer can also just experience, see how it could work for them. And when they are, when they really understand the benefits of the product, then they can scale up, and we can implement it in all their stores or all their offices. We also use it for customer care. There's many implementation ways of the system. Sheaton, maybe you want to. Thank you. So we are, as I said, we are here to support you fully in the process with your clients. The moment that the trial or the negotiations are going, we can also already start creating marketing materials that they can look at. The moment that they have closed the deal, we can set up, according to the needs of the client, the banner, social media promotion, think about what are the marketing materials that they can help them to launch Oktium successfully within their business. So obviously, we will also generate the data regarding to the usage of Oktium. So that will be a very valuable piece of information that can be used within every business to improve their sales cycles, to improve the service level that they have, and to learn about the customers, to learn about the needs of their customers in the digital age. So what maybe as the last note from our side, what I want to say is that we are here to help you also to work on use cases in a negotiation with the client, in order to make sure that we understand what the challenge is from their side, and then work out the best possible solution for them. There are different ways that can work, for example, for a client in the automotive industry, or in a call center, or in a retail business or industry. So since we have many examples to show, we are always happy to join the negotiation part. And obviously Tech Data is here with Christophe and with Michelle to help you to solve bigger problems of your clients. So I'm going to give the word back to Christophe. Obviously, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask right now, because we are here also for you to look into some specific areas that you might be interested in. And Christophe's email address is there to keep in touch with him, to set up follow-up meetings, and to learn more about the solution.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Christophe.
Thank you. Thanks, Marta. Thanks, Sheaton. Maybe it's good for everybody just to unmute themselves and see and hear what's in for you. Maybe you find it interesting. Maybe you have some other challenges we can help you with. I just want to know if there are maybe any questions also about Oktium, or how to buy this within Tech Data, or how to get support with this. Maybe Nolan, Patrick, Frank, do you have some questions about this, or Dan? Okay, thanks for the feedback, Nolan. Do you have any interested about it, about implementing Oktium maybe, or do you believe in this way of connecting?
I think in our region, the customer is have the habitude to come to our shop to see a salesman or to see a real person. I think it's a new system to deploy it in our region, but I think at this time it's I think a little bit new things. I don't know if you understand me. Like I say, it's a new things, a new experience to give us. And I think it's the customer is a little bit afraid, or it's a bit scary about these things. To see why I see only a person between the screen and not in real time in a real shop. I think it's a new experience to give to the customer and see if it's really in a good and a new good experience maybe to try.
Yeah, correct. Thank you for your feedback. I think it's I think more and more will happen online, and I think to be future proof, I think Oktium is a key partner to convert your online sales. But it's true, customers are especially for some kind of things from Apple, like for example an Apple Watch. But as Marta said, or Shitten already said, there are some products who have really high value that we already saw that sold through Oktium during, I think it was during Corona or not.
Yeah, no, it was. And I mean, even just a couple of weeks ago, there's another jeweler, Chisholm Hunter, they sold a £10,000 watch through Oktium. And this was even surprised us, like people actually are moving their habits and becoming more comfortable with, with the online experience. But it is all about being able to trust who you're working with and the brand you're connecting with. And I think Nolan's not wrong, actually, in the sense people can be still a bit wary of new technology, how this works. And, I think our job is to, as DPP as well, I would say to you guys, is to talk to your customers about what's going on in the world around online. And it's very easy to show them. And Chris, I was just thinking very quickly, your first slide around the DPP renew, tech data renew, I just thought, wouldn't that be great with a little phase 2 icon button there? People who go onto your DPP resellers websites, oh, I want to talk to someone about, tech data renew, want to talk to someone before I click here, and they can contact the store person or the organization and speak to them about renew. There's so many ways to use Oktium in that way.
Yes, if I can comment as well, Christophe, to Nolan's remark, I completely understand the region where Nolan talks about. People go to a store because they know the store manager. It's a personal relationship, and that's very important. The only thing I could add, Nolan, is that you can use this technology to really also have this benefit, even if it's online. But people can sell more using a website, but still offer that opportunity to have that personal touch. So if they say, oh, I like this, but I want to get the advice of my preferred shop owner or of my preferred seller at that shop, you can easily dial in. And it's a game changer on one hand for some people, but in the end, what they want is that personal advice, that personal contact, and that can be an easy step up to do this with it. And technology is moving forward, so this is an easy step up to get that customer, have that relationship, and still, convince them to buy a little bit more from your shop. It's just my idea.
Yeah, and maybe just another example. We had also one of our customers. They are based in the UK, and they have tried everything to get customers from all over the world, and nothing worked. And so they kind of like settled with the idea during all those years that, okay, so that's what we have. I mean, we have our shops, we have our online sales. The moment they started using Oktium, and they set up the marketing campaign around it, suddenly people who were visiting their websites and they were not aware of as a company came from 6-7 different countries, and they have never imagined to have that. So, a physical store is one thing where people come, but it's just a limited amount of people who can come. There's a larger amount of people who would come to your website. I mean, I'm not going to say that you're going to sell internationally, but maybe you will be selling, outside the region that you're used to, just because you're offering a service which just might be very useful for other people who are working full-time. They don't have time, and they have other needs, and suddenly you will tap into that kind of audience as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunities, especially with like Sheetan said, with the new. Maybe if you are interested in buying back or old iPhones for your customer, if the customer goes into your website and you should use, for example, an iframe, there's always a difference about how the customer interprets his used iPhone and how it really is, and that's for everybody. At that point, you can make just a phone, just a call with the button Sheetan proposed, and just talk to it about it. Like, is it really necessary to go to the store, or can I just send it to you and have a good quotation? I think this could make the customer at ease and make it a little bit faster into the conversion of an old iPhone, and maybe even into a new iPhone. The other thing I think with Apple, we're really based on experience. So when you go into the store, normally there's an Apple genius. He will talk to you about everything, and then he will set up the product next to you. With Oktium, you can do this as well. Next to selling stuff, you could also do everything online, even when the customer has already bought the product. So I think certainly in this kind of situation now we're in, certainly with Corona, this could be the next thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Christoph.
So afterwards, Michelle, did you want to say something else? Because otherwise, I'm just going to wrap it up.
No, I think I've shown a bit more what we can do in terms of IoT, and I'm sure you will share the contacts, my contacts as well, so people can reach out to us if they want to explore a bit more on this.
Yeah. I think for those who are really interested, you will receive a mail, a thank you mailers with more information about Oktium, and also with the landing page on Oktium on DPP. I think the most of you already know where the DPP portal is and where to find the info, but we are implementing a direct link. There will also be a link to the webinar, to the recorded webinar for those who were not able to get into the webinar, for those who are eager to know something about Oktium within your company. If there's any other questions, maybe even for the data new or other things, just call me. I do have some time now, so if you like, we can have a small chat afterwards. So Dan, Frank, Nolan, Patrick, if you would like, I can give you a call, or we can talk about it later. So fine. Okay. Thank you, Shitten. Thank you, Marta. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Evie, for putting up this webinar. Have a nice day, everybody. Thank you for joining.